My husband and I did 2 failed IVF rounds. Then my sister showed up pregnant offering to give me the baby. My husband refused to discuss it. Then I found out why. My husband Blake and I tried for 4 years. 4 years of tracking, testing, hoping, and failing. We started IVF when I was 33. The first round cost us $16,000 out of pocket. It didn't work. The second round cost $14,000. We borrowed from our savings and my parents helped with $3,000. It didn't work either. After the second failure, I stayed in bed for 3 days. Blake brought me food I didn't eat. He sat on the edge of the bed and said maybe this is a sign we should stop. I said I'm not ready to stop. He said I think I am. That sentence broke something between us. I thought we were in this together. Turns out he had 1 foot out the door the whole time. My sister Jenna is 2 years younger than me. We've always been close. She knew everything about the IVF, the failures, the grief. She called every week. She brought me flowers after the second round. She sat on my kitchen floor with me while I cried. In March, Jenna came to our house. She sat down at the table and said she had something to tell me. She was pregnant, 7 weeks. She said the father wasn't in the picture. She said she wasn't ready to be a mom. Then she said something I wasn't expecting. I want to give the baby to you. I froze. She kept going. You've been trying so hard for so long. I know this baby would have the best life with you. I'm not in a place to raise a child, but you are. I started crying, not sad crying, something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. I looked at Blake. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't crying. He was staring at the table. I said, Blake, did you hear that? He said, yeah, I heard. I waited for him to say something else. He pushed back from the table and said, I need to think about it. He walked out of the room. Jenna looked at me. Is he okay? I said, I don't know. He's been different since the second round. That night I brought it up again. Blake was in the living room. I said, can we talk about Jenna's offer? He said, I don't think it's a good idea. Why? It's complicated. What's complicated about it? My sister wants to give us a baby. After everything we've been through, this is the answer. He said it's not the answer. Drop it. I didn't drop it. I brought it up every day for a week. Every time he shut it down. He said the timing isn't right. He said we should look into adoption agencies instead. He said he didn't feel comfortable taking Jenna's baby. I asked why. He couldn't give me a straight answer. Not once. 2 weeks later, I was doing laundry. Blake's phone was on the dresser. It buzzed. I wouldn't normally look, but something had been off for weeks and the feeling in my gut was louder than my conscience. I picked it up. The message was from Jenna. It said, I can't keep lying to her. This is killing me. I scrolled up. There were hundreds of messages, going back months, before the pregnancy, before the offer, before any of it. Blake and Jenna had been sleeping together since October. The baby was his. Everything I thought I understood rearranged itself in 5 seconds. Jenna didn't come to my kitchen table with a generous offer. She came because she was pregnant with my husband's baby and didn't know what else to do. The offer wasn't kindness. It was a cover story. She wasn't giving me a gift. She was handing me the evidence of their affair, wrapped in a bow and hoping I'd say thank you. Blake wasn't uncomfortable taking Jenna's baby because of timing or adoption preferences. He was uncomfortable because he knew it was his. Every excuse he gave me made sense now. Every deflection, every time he said drop it. He wasn't protecting me. He was protecting himself. I sat on the bed holding his phone for 40 minutes. Then I called Jenna. She picked up on the first ring. She already knew. She said, please let me explain. I said, how long? She went quiet. Since October. I said, is the baby Blake's? She started crying. Yes. I hung up. Blake came home at 6. He walked in and saw his phone sitting on the kitchen table open to the messages. He stopped in the doorway. He said, let me explain. I said, no. I've been listening to you explain for weeks and every word was a lie. You told me to stop IVF. You told me the timing wasn't right. You told me to drop it. And the whole time you were sleeping with my sister. The whole time. He said it was a mistake. I said, which part? The affair or the baby or the offer to let me raise your child without knowing the truth? He didn't answer. I packed a bag. That night, I went to my parents' house. I told them everything. My mom called Jenna. Jenna confirmed it. My dad didn't speak for 2 hours. When he finally did, he said I don't have 2 daughters anymore. I filed for divorce the next morning. $30,000 and 4 years trying to have a baby with a man who was making one with my sister. Some things you don't come back from.